Hi guys, it's week 4 Project Life and I've got my February Citrus Twist Kit Pocket Life Kit out along with my photos. Now I was desperate to use that 4x6 card and I just couldn't find a way to make it work this week, so I didn't want to use the back side of it because I really want to use that side, so I'm gonna leave that for now. And I'm just picking out some of the 3x4 cards. I only need a couple. One I'm going to use for journaling, and the grey square worked really nicely with the card for my title card, and the sentiment worked really nicely too, so definitely went with that one. And then just another one for my photo of Sneaky Coffee. And then I don't mind telling you, I really struggled where to go from here. I liked that the yellow floral sort of picked out a little bit of yellow that there was in my photo, but I really liked this sort of larger print, but the black was so dark I just didn't know how I could make that work, so I decided to try something a little bit different to tie this whole page together because it's all a little bit sort of higgledy-piggledy to me. And I'm gonna do some fussy cutting now. I'm not great at fussy cutting. I don't do it a lot. I much prefer my silhouette, to be honest. So this was a little bit different for me, but I quite liked the way it turned out. I threw this one up here on the title card because I was still working out what to do with the bottom card here. And in the end, I decided I quite liked the fussy cut piece, so I'm going to do a second one and just add a piece of white card from my stash for this bottom card down the bottom. I like that the floral on this paper is on a black background and I'm not actually cutting that off, so I'm sort of leaving like a wee black outline on the fussy cut pieces, which I think helps them stand out from the cards in the photos. So you know me and my rule of threes, I couldn't leave it at 2. I'm going to have to add a third one, and just to create that triangle I'm going to fill up some of that empty space on the bottom left hand photo with another one of these fussy cut pieces. When I had originally taken that photo I sort of assumed I might do some journaling on there, but there wasn't a lot to journal about, to be honest. It was just that we spent a little bit of time doing the gardening, which is somewhat unusual for us, so I didn't feel like it needed like a huge amount of journaling at all. The photo kind of told the story for me, so I'm happy to fill that up with one of those little fussy cut flowers. So I'm just going ahead and sticking those down just with a little bit of tape runner. While I'm knocking everything around, I decided to stick that photo down too because that's really all there is for that as well. It ends up being like quite a simple page this week, apart from doing the fussy cutting, which of course I did speed up, but it didn't take me that long. I think because the pattern is sort of bigger, it wasn't that hard to cut out, but I mean, all props to people like Paige Evans who like cut out tiny little flowers and butterflies out of their pages. I don't know how they have the patience to do that. I am going to go through the ephemera pack, and I often do this off camera, but I had forgotten today. Because there are so many pieces in this pack, I often find it a little bit overwhelming to decide what to use. So I generally go through them before I start picking out ones that I might use and ones that I definitely won't use. So I'm just doing that now, putting aside the ones I'm definitely not going to use, and I've just got a little plate that I put the ones I might use, including this yellow label, which is going to be perfect for my title card here. Just to put my date stamping on. I stuck it down and then was like, oh, I hope the dates fit, and they actually did just fit on there, so that was lucky. And then I'm going to use these really pretty alphas to spell out my title. Now I could not for the life of me get that little piece out of the middle of the 4. I ended up having to go away and like sort of cut it out with a knife. So annoying, but luckily I got it. I didn't want to leave it in there. And then I can just spell out week 4. So I'm almost done with this page. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I love the way the florals are sort of pulling it together. I don't often do something like that with the repeated sort of element on the whole spread, tying it together, but I'm really liking the way that it works. So all I'm really intending to add to it now is just a few of these ephemera pieces that I've picked out. I'm just going through my little plate, picking out any that apply to those photos. And I wondered about adding some pink stickers. Because of the pink in my pants in that photo, I wondered whether it might work, but I kind of like keeping the scheme a little bit neutral. I just moved one of those yellow die cut pieces to create another like visual triangle in there. And then before I let the indecision take hold and this page take way too long, I've decided to just start sticking stuff down. So I'm layering a couple of the die cuts on a couple of the photos, and the other ones I'm just leaving sort of plainer. And those little die cuts, I have picked out similar ones. So there were a few that were black with white words, and I've picked out 3 of those. This one here is slightly different, but it works on this photo because the photo is so dark, so having that white die cut on there really makes it stand out a bit more. And now I'm pretty much done, but I decided some of those stamps were really cute and I wanted to add a little bit of messy stamping to the page. It's quite a different page, so I decided to go a little bit different. Grabbed out some of my Brilliance Moonlight White ink, and I'm just doing a little bit of repeat stamping with a few of the sentiment stamps. So I've just added to that photo cluster, well, it's not a photo cluster, what am I talking about? Cut cluster. I just added some stamping to that, and same on my little photo of Lily, just fill up some of that empty space a little bit more. There are a few of these little tiny words that I'm putting together to make a sort of sentiment myself, and I'm going to stamp that onto the top of my white card here just to fill up that little top space a bit more. And then there were no other sentiments, but I did want to add some more of that sort of messy stamping. So I grabbed one of the sort of border pattern stamps, and I'm just going to stamp that a few times. It just fills up that space a little bit more too. The photo's a bit messy down there, so it kind of ties it all together. And I'm looking at it and I want to add a little bit more yellow to that photo as well, because it's black and white, it's a little bit duller. So I'm just adding my last 2 puffy hearts. Thought I was done, but realized I hadn't filled in my journaling card, so I just went and typed that out, and now I am all done. What sort of tricks do you have when you have weeks where the photos are just nah? I mean, I didn't really know what to do, but I really liked this fussy cutting effect. Let me know in the comments what you tried. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!